I wake up every single day. I am who I say I am. And I get what I get because I live in beast mode. Stop being gazelles. You're not average. You're not even good. You were born to be great.
What's going on, world? Welcome to another edition of the Secret to Success podcast. I'm your host, CJ, joined as always by the lovely and talented, the Bayesian sensation, Mr. Karl Phillips.
I like the lovely and talented. I can work with that.
Well, I was just gonna go with talented, but after that text you received last week from your wife, I put lovely in front of it.
Hey.
And as always as well, my big brother, Dr. Eric Thomas.
Hey, they just call me ET now.
Oh, no, I don't know about that. And when the check's on the line, I heard they call you Doctor.
Oh, yeah, when the check's on the line for sure. I didn't know this podcast is for free. I didn't know that. I know the check was on the line.
Oh, the check is always on the line,
okay,
man. So, hey, appreciate y'all joining me, man. Man, thank you to everybody who shot me text messages and emails and all kind. I got stuff in the mail from people, well wishing me from my surgery. Things went well, guys. So I got in there, and y'all know, like I said, y'all been a part of this journey, and our Breathe You fam, I was sending them video updates from the hospital bed, just like, yo, I'm about to keep y'all informed because y'all held me accountable to go in there and get it done. And so went in there to get surgery, which is never fun, and went down on the operating table, man. And it's crazy when you have surgery. It's like they count down, and you just like, you don't even remember nothing, like literally. It's like, how you go to sleep and you wake up like, 5-6 hours later, you feel like, oh, okay, some time passed. With surgery, it's weird because like, as soon as they put that mask on you and they like count down, you like 5, 4, boom. And then it's like the next thing you know, you up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's actually fairly easy. And they had, so they went in and, Doc came in or whatever. And it turns out I had a huge, like a bone, piece of bone and cartilage or something that was floating around in my shoulder. And, he didn't have to repair the labrum and the rotator cuff and all of that. He said all of that looked like it was intact. I do have, a bunch of, arthritis, from the last surgery or whatever. But he took this piece out. And it was so big, he had to, like, take it out in 3 different pieces. And they had to widen the hole that they used to go in for the surgery. And so they fixed me up. I'm recovering. It's Thursday now, and almost a week out. And I'm doing well, man. Just a little stiffness, a little soreness. You can imagine. I like to sleep kind of like with my arms underneath my pillows. That's a no-go. So I just been sleeping on my side like stiff as a board. So I haven't been getting much sleep. Luckily, I'm a savage, and we don't sleep like that in this company anyway. So you know what I'm saying? I'm not too worse for the wear there. But no, man, thank you to everybody for your prayers and support. It wasn't, a huge deal. I wasn't going in for heart surgery, brain surgery, nothing like that. But anytime you go under, it is a little nerve-wracking, and I appreciate you guys, not only the prayers and well wishes, but, for holding me accountable. And again, we'll just reiterate that if you got something going on, man, don't be scared to go to the doctor. Don't be scared to get it checked out, man. It's always best to get it, looked at on the front end. And, I got a lot of emails and messages from people saying, yo, see, you really helped me with that. So definitely appreciate that. Let's get into the show now. That's my update. I'm good. I'm moving. Oh yeah, before I even forget, shout out to Josh's birthday was the other day. Big shout out to Big J, our team member now, man. He had a wonderful birthday. He's what is Josh? 30 mid-30s.
Mid-30s.
Let's just say
it like that. Yeah.
Mid-30s. Yep, so congratulations and happy birthday to our brother Josh. Man, as always, we have a sponsor. I feel like I should say as always now because we, our sponsorship game is picked up tremendously. And today's episode, again, is brought to you by John Elway Chevrolet. Huge inventory will deliver nationwide, all backed by the Elway Promise, winner of the Mark of Excellence Award, Colorado's #1 dealership for 5 years. Look, guys, go to johnelwaychevrolet.com or call them at 720-370-5248. Ask for Josh and tell him we sent you. Guys, I'm a little hurt because while I was under anesthesia, y'all got y'all Chevrolets.
Yes, sir.
You got the Caddy. E got the Caddy. Karl got the Suburban that rolled up. I believe they streamed the delivery on Facebook Live. Listen, guys, they will deliver. If you're tired of dealing with people and haggling with people and all that foolishness, every time you get a car, you got that pit in your stomach, you feel like you're about to get robbed, go to johnelwaychevrolet.com or call my boy Josh. He will take care of you. fellas, how are the rides? I didn't get mine because I was under anesthesia and I was recovering. So my ride is being ordered later on. We're going to get some more space. But let me start with Karl because he just went from the caddy to the new caddy.
Right.
Karl went, from riding. I wish I was a little bit taller.
I wish I was a baller.
To riding big time.
No
So Karl, Karl called me yesterday, y'all. Karl was like, yo, never in my life have I driven with two hands on the steering wheel.
I'm talking about 10 and 2 all day. 10 and 2.
He said, he said, I have a heated steering wheel.
So it wasn't about driving. It wasn't even about driving. He just staying warm.
Right. He just went in the car, didn't even drive, just went in the car to warm up his hands. So, fellas, how are the rides?
So let me just say, C said it, going from a Honda Accord, and nothing is wrong with Honda.
Oh,
don't
beautiful
get me
vehicle.
wrong. I love
it's
my
something
Honda
wrong with Honda.
Beautiful.
There's something wrong.
Hey, I love my Honda
Something wrong with
Accord.
that GM.
But hey, she didn't. Oh yeah, no doubt. She got the GM loyalty boy. Hey, but let me just say, she was not made for Michigan. She was made to, last long and take you wherever you're going, and you change your oil, and she gonna give you 300,000 miles. But let me just say, she was not made for Michigan. She said it, man. The heated steering wheel, the heated seats, it's just next level. But
made for Michigan.
They were made for Michigan. They were made for this kind of weather. Nah, man. And we talked about it on the BU call a bit. But literally, y'all, the huge piece for me was just watching my family, the change in my family, man. So the car, let me just say, the car itself, it's more features on it than I'll ever use. I probably won't use 10% of the features. See, I don't know if I told you this. I was talking to Candace yesterday. There's a feature in the car that just pops up. Anytime you shut the engine off, it pops up and says, look in the rear seat. And I'm like, what's that about? Oh, so I'm saying too much. Let me go back, see. Not only did we get the cars, we got somebody fly out here to give us a tutorial on the cars. Daryl flew out here. Literally, y'all hearing what I'm saying? She flew out here to sit down in the car with me and give me a tutorial on how the car works, how to set everything up, connect your phone, how to connect your Bluetooth, how to sync it with your garage opener, like the whole nine. I'm talking like a full tutorial. So then the other piece that she gave us was, I'm telling you about this piece in the car. So you get out of the car, you're about to get out of the car, and it tells you, look in the rear seat. And I'm like, so what's that about? She's like, you would be surprised how many people forget their kids in the car. You got young kids. So it's just a reminder of, before you get out, just check. And she's like, you want me to turn that on or off? I'm like, you better leave that joker on there. I'm not going to be no statistic. But no, man, I'm telling y'all. So just watching my kids, we talked about it, and literally, I can't explain to you. My kids getting in there, you can see their faces. They're like, Daddy, is this our car? They're like, I'm like, absolutely it is. My wife got in the car, and I ain't gonna lie, I was hogging it at first, and we went to the mall and did some stuff, and I was like, oh, you gotta drive back. Like, you ain't drive it yet. And man, she got her hand on them heated steering wheels, and you could just see it's a whole different experience, and bigger than anything else for me. And this is the part we talked about on the BU call last week. Bigger than anything else for me, it's that get out of your comfort zone. Like, Karl, I don't care what the car costs, whatever. The Honda Accord was comfortable. Like, you did that, it was paid off. Like, if you're gonna be a grinding person, like, get out of your comfort zone, stretch yourself, do something different, do something bigger, do something better, and just keep up with it. You know what I'm saying? And don't get comfortable with this either. You know what I'm saying? Like, let this last for a little while, enjoy it, but then there's something else beyond this. I don't know if I'm gonna hit the midlife.
You know what I'm saying? Get the caddy, the Escalade next time.
I'm gonna have to hit the Escalade. Yeah.
Yeah, I try to let E live. You know what I'm saying? I want E to feel like the big dog of the company. So everybody can't
we'll
try
stay
to
a
say
step behind for now.
As the Godfather. You know what I'm saying? So E, how's the new Escalade?
Well, guys, let me give you the backdrop, because I think we're always about lessons. You know what I'm saying? Even though we have a good time and everything, guys, we're all about lessons. And when I went in 2000, well, what was it? 2013, I think, I traded in my Suburban. So here we are again with the Suburban, which I personally think is the best buy, the best vehicle for its buy in the world. I'm saying in the world. My wife has looked at some European trucks, et cetera. Let's just be real. They might be flashy and classy and have that look, but in terms of utility, the Suburban, man, you can get the 7 in it, 8 in it, luggage space, and some of these other luxury vehicles, these luxury trucks. They may look good on the outside, but when you talk about luggage space and passenger space, like, let's just be real, man. The Suburban is the real deal, Holyfield. right? And I'm a Ford guy. See a GM. I'm a Ford. My mom worked for Ford. I knew that the Navigator ain't the Suburban. Let's just keep 100. I need y'all to understand. Like, for real, I'm a Ford guy. My mom, and you know, everybody know the relationship that I had with my mom. I had the XR4T. Most of y'all don't even know what that is. The show, the Taurus, the Ford Taurus show, you know, but when I was adult and went for the truck, I was like, I gotta go to Suburban. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And so I went to go get a new Suburban, and CJ was like, yo, E, man, you've been putting in the grind, E. Like, we're at a different place as a company, and I do understand, you know, where you at, but you spend a lot of time in the car. The leather seats are different. The suspension, the handling is different. It's like, yo, you live in this, bro. Like, you need to upgrade. You always talking about upgrade. You need to upgrade. And so I upgraded to that Caddy, and I'm gonna be honest. It's a little, I'm telling you, the leather seats, the way it hold you, it's a little different. You know what I'm saying? And then the digital boy on this one, man. My daughter, she drove it the other day and came back, and she was like, yo, Dad, I'm sorry, I gotta go back to the car. I'm like, what's going on? She's like, I gotta snap that digital boy, the digital display. I was like, oh, okay. Whatever that is, you know. So definitely, man, love the Cadillac experience, man. It's a wonderful vehicle. It is a toy, see, but it's it's a powerful toy.
So I just keep riding my hoopty. I feel like you know what I mean. I'm the only one in the company.
But it's a sweet hoopty, or it's a Tahoe, still a GMC hoopty though.
Yeah. No, the Tahoe is cool, man. Like I said though, you put that third row in, man. You can't get any bags in there. So I told Josh, look, hook me. So man, listen, man, we're done with this segment, and I always like to keep you guys, you know, updated with what's going on with us, man. And it's rare that we find a brand partner that we believe in. To that level, so you know. Shout out.
Hey, can we say this to Josh though?
We'll never buy a car from anywhere else.
Hey, but we will tell Josh thank you. We did look boss having a truck come in personally in the neighborhood and drop one off, then drop the other one off. Everybody, my next door neighbor was like, "Yo, E, y'all hard work, drop y'all off some vehicles for Christmas."
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, so it did look boss. I ain't gonna lie.
No doubt. Absolutely, man. No, we appreciate it. Hey, guys, let's jump into a little segment I like to call Fair File. I meant to bring this up last week, but we did a different Fair File. But I was at the gym, right? And I was like, I was like, I could bring this to the podcast and just see, before we jump into the topic of the day, just see y'all opinions. So I'm in the gym. This was last, I think, Wednesday or Thursday. You know, get my workout in, feeling good. Go sit in the sauna, right? And I'm in the sauna, and there's a couple other gentlemen in there. And this one guy comes in, and he's got his headphones in. But he's got, like, the headphones that, you know, with the phone attached. So he comes in, and he's on the phone, but he's not, like, making a lot of noise. But he is having a conversation. So, you know, as you would on a phone conversation, he might be like, oh, that's crazy. Oh, and then what'd she say? You know, he's just kind of going in. And I see the dude next to me, he's getting, like, hot. Like, I can tell he's not happy that my man's on his phone. So my man stays on his phone for another 2, 3, 4 minutes maybe. And he hangs up, and he kind of takes his headphones out, and he's like wiping his face or whatever. And the guy was like, you know, that's really rude. You should not be taking phone calls in the sauna. This is a place to relax and unwind, and you taking phone calls in here, that's rude. I was like, you know me, I'm looking like, whoa. My man was like, well, what you want me to do? I'm on the phone, bro. You act like this ain't no yoga room. So they like about to go in. I ain't say nothing. I'm sitting there like,
with towels on or not? With towels on or not?
Yeah, my man wasn't bothering me. Yeah, right. With towels on. It's about to be a scrap, a little naked scrap in there.
You feel me? Because the one I go to, they ain't got on nothing. See, the one I go to, the old folks don't be having on nothing.
You definitely go to the free for all for sure. But in this one, man, you know but they got hot. You know what I mean? And it was like a tense little, you know, hookup, and nobody else really said anything. It wasn't my business. I wasn't bothered by my man talking. I'm used to, you know, kind of, you know, working and talking and, you know, the whole nine. But my man was real hot, and I was like, man, is that I kind of felt where he was coming from, because it's like, yo, everybody in the sauna, you kind of just, you know, close your eyes, getting your mind right, relaxing, letting the heat kind of do what it does. And my man came up in there, and he was talking on the phone. And I was like, wow. After they, calmed down, one guy was just like, all right, whatever, man, I'm out of here. And he left. And I was kind of looking, and I was like, yo, I wonder, is that fair or foul? Like, what do y'all think? Like, I didn't really come to, I could see it both ways. So, fair or foul, being on your phone, and not even just in the sauna, but just being on your phone in like kind of quiet places, fair or foul?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little bit older, and so I do go not only for working out, but when I work out, it is a place for me to kind of emotionally, and mentally, wind down a little bit. And so I wouldn't say that he's wrong, but just etiquette. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think that that's the place. If you want to talk on your phone, for real, do business, you should do business in places where you conduct business. But when you're going to exercise, it's not just you. You have to be mindful of, all the people that, are other people that are there to work out as well. So I know where I go, see, of course, it's a little, I don't know how to say it, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a different level, if you will. So it's kind of built in the culture or the fabric that you don't talk on the phone, period. Like, you don't bring your phone, period. Most people have their phones in the locker, they don't take them with them. So just for me personally, especially when I go at 5 a.m, I promise you, I don't want those distractions. I want to be able to lock in and do my thing and leave.
I'll be honest, I ain't never experienced it, so I'm kind of processing now.
Yeah, I never had nobody
I never had nothing like that.
Yeah, my man, we was in the sauna. It was pretty quiet, you know what I'm saying? But then I'm like, sometimes if you catch people in the sauna who know each other,
they're going to be talking
you know what I'm
anyway.
saying? We'll be in there chopping it up, talking about the game, talking about everything. So I kind of felt my man. I'm like, yo, this ain't, like I said, this ain't church. This ain't a yoga room. Like, yo, sometimes like it's, depending on who in there, we talking about the game last night. We laughing, joking the whole nine. So it's not like, I don't know. I can't
say that's why I just said you can't go to jail for it, but I do think
right. You're just saying etiquette.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You can't go to jail for it. You ain't evil. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you got to pray and ask for forgiveness at night. But for real, just being and I say this, probably I'm a little bit more sensitive because Didi, like, you so loud. So everywhere we go, Didi be like, yo,
hey, he is the dude on the phone.
Yeah, right.
Oh, no doubt.
So that's why I'm like.
E definitely the dude.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, so
yeah,
E, no talking, E. You too doggone loud. Shut up when you go into the gym.
Yep, no doubt. All right, cool. So we'll kind of leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the two dudes that's about to fight.
But didn't fight.
With their cows.
Praise God it wasn't in my spot, though. Because I promise you, I don't know why they feel comfortable without the towel ministry. I don't know where they get that from. But
but your gym is a little bit more free flowing than most.
Yeah.
I have noticed. I think it's because it's expensive to go there, and they like, look here, I'd have paid a lot of money to be covering up in this joint.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I paid a lot to cover up, and I didn't pay that much to see you walking around with your family.
But you know what
jewels.
though? I will say this too. You got a lot of older, refined gentlemen at your gym. And I think once you live past 70, you like, look here.
I don't care nothing about
I've
none
lived
of
too long. I ain't got no shame in my game. So they just, they do their thing.
And I guess the 50-year-olds that see them doing it figure they can do it.
It's the culture now.
It's the culture.
It's the culture.
It's the culture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
no
they
doubt.
looking at me
It's spread.
stupid because I got on something when I'm in the sauna.
Yep. Right. They're like, whoa, what's wrong with him? Man, so all right, cool, guys. Let's jump into what we're talking about today. And, man, I really, Karl, and I hope we can get it queued up. But the other day, he was speaking and he was talking about energy. And I thought it was so deep because he was talking about energy in the sense of, like, a lot of you out there give too much energy to too many things and too many negative things. And so he was saying you only get so much energy. Like, when you charge your phone up, right? So let me try to, maybe this is a stretch, E, and you could take it from here, but I kind of want to compare it to an actual cell phone. When you charge your cell phone up, and let's say you leave that morning and you're on 100%, you could use it, throughout the day on some foolishness, and then 10 o'clock that night, you might need to do something that's an emergency or something for you.
Done that.
And now you done burnt out because you was on, YouTube watching stupid videos all day, or you were on, Facebook just lounging like you didn't have any business, and now you've used up all your energy and don't have any energy left for what's important. And so that's kind of the the metaphor that I'll use. But he was talking about, you give your energy away to too many things, and when it's time to lock in and focus on what you need to do throughout the day, you don't have any energy left. You let your friend call you and drain your energy. You let your mom call you and drain your energy. And E was saying, like, you can kind of take it from here, but you were just kind of talking about, like, for real, how important it is to guard your actual energy and save it for what you need it for before you give it out to the world. So I guess you can kind of expand on it. And Karl, we can play. Let's play the clip first so they can hear it, and then E, you can kind of take it from there.
You don't become number one because you're smart and you're brilliant. I've discovered that the way you get to the top, you need energy because you're going to go through some things in life. Okay, so let me just say this. When you get to the top, you got to the top because you didn't let stuff drain your energy. Like, you kept your energy, right? And I managed to get through life. My mother with cancer, my wife, 7 lesions on her brain. Listen to me. I'm telling you what happened. I got so much energy that when this stuff happened, it didn't drain me. So we don't have time when people call us with negativity. Like, we don't have time to talk to them. But it's my sister. Who cares? She's draining you. It doesn't make a difference who it is. It's my cousin. I don't care. They're draining you. So now your husband has to deal with the fact that you just got off the phone with her and you was at 90% for your family. You got off the phone with her. Now you 60%. So now your family getting 60%. They're getting 60% of you because you was on the phone wasting 30% with somebody that's not even going to do nothing with the energy you gave them. And so you've got to reserve. You've got to preserve your energy. And so as I go through life, stuff happens, right? But I have so much energy. I got so much juice. And for most of you, you don't get it. I need you to get up in the morning, and I need you to get around the energy. I need you to stay plugged up to the energy. Listen to me. I need you to keep that energy, because if you can keep that energy all day, they'll pay you for it. So who's draining you? I need them gone.
So you heard it. And E, you obviously were going in right there. But I just think it's so critical, heading into 2017, that people understand that they only have so much energy and they have to guard it. And so kind of take it from there. What happened, that made you want to go in on that particular message, and how in 2017 can we, guard our energy and use our energy correctly?
So you and Karl are going to have to help me with this, because I'm going to try to go a little deeper than I normally go. So, you guys help me with the right terms and all that. But yo, for real, man, I want to make this as simple as possible, but as powerful as possible. You have to understand that we are considered one of the most, in terms of civilization, most advanced, because we've learned how to take energy and hone it. You have to understand, in caveman time, they didn't have energy like this. You got to get it. And I think some of you, because you're around energy all the time, you got an energy in terms of your pocket, a phone. Bro, when I was coming up, you couldn't have your phone in your pocket. They didn't know how to take energy and put it in a phone. So it was plugged up into your wall. Understand what I'm saying? And the power of energy. Energy is allowing us now to get to Australia in a couple hours. They used to have to take a boat back in the day, right? So you have to understand just energy. And when people understand the power of energy, they can create communities, schools, businesses, homes, telephones, computers. There are people walking around with computers. Energy is life. You understand me? Energy is life. And in this society, they don't give it away. You pay for energy. If you want something, if you're not careful, you got to pay to charge something up. You in the wrong spot, there's a charge, you have to pay to charge up your phone, right? You have to pay to charge up, your car. You drive an electrical car, they have stations where you pull to the side, you plug that joint up. So I'm trying to tell y'all this, energy is so important. It's what makes a civilization advance. It's what makes a human advance. And so the thing you love about ET, when you turn on the video, baby, you feel like you can run through a wall when that joint is over. You don't necessarily know everything I say may not make sense to you. You may not quite understand it right now. Some of the terms might not even be right? But when you turn it off, what you watched it for was, woo! My man I just plugged. I felt like ET is an electrical transformer, a transmitter, a source that takes energy and puts it in another individual. That's what you feel like when you watch me. So what I'm trying to tell you is, I get it. I understand why it's important, And that's why I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. That's why I get energized. That's why I get juiced up. That's why I'm on prayer lines. That's why I'm talking to my wife. That's why I'm watching certain things on TV. That's why I got a playlist. Like, I'm putting this stuff in. And so you have to do me a favor. You cannot go to all these sources and get all this energy and then just give it away. And C said it. I do what's called, I don't do Fitbit and all that, right? It's too much. So what I do is I literally use my phone to track my steps in my running, right? I literally use I don't even use it, Karl, to be honest. Apple just got it on there automatically. Like, you don't even have to do nothing. It's just a part. But here's a trick. I used to mess up earlier and I couldn't measure all my steps and I couldn't measure my running and my walking. Why? Because the doggone phone would go to dead by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So what CJ said is important because now I'm trying to measure my steps throughout the course of the entire day. Guess what I do? I do not get on YouTube like that no more unless it's to send something to y'all. I ain't on Facebook all day. I ain't on YouTube. And there are those of you who are getting all this juice. You might even be in Breathe You. You might even be watching a YouTube video every day that you might be listening to the mixtapes. You might be listening to the audio book. You might be reading the book. You might be in a community that's phenomenal. And then you get on the phone with your girlfriend that's toxic and that whole hour. Can I tell y'all the truth? It's like running for an hour and eating 3 Snicker bars. You shouldn't eat. I don't even know what you're running for. You just ate 2 Snicker bars and you went to Chick-fil-A and got the large cookies and cream shake. It's like all that. Look, am I mad at the cookies and cream? Absolutely not. Have I had one since they've been open? Absolutely not. And why haven't I had a cookies and cream? I haven't had a cookie. Do you think I like them? I absolutely love them. But I'll be darned if I run for an hour and it all goes down the drain because I just sucked up. And that's exactly what you're doing in your life. You are listening to music that's sucking your energy. You talking what I'm talking about, E. Whatever you listening to that's got you thinking, man, maybe this person ain't, maybe this person. Stuff you watching, the places you going, the people you hanging out with. You on the phone with people who look, you're not even gossip, but you letting people who gossip call you and talk that negativity. You're not even pessimistic. You are an optimistic dude. You are a very optimistic young lady, but you're talking to people who see everything in the negative and it's draining you. You going to a job, emotionally toxic, is killing you. And so what C said, all I'm saying is this. It don't make sense to be doing all this positive stuff, spending money, going to all these average skill, phenomenal will, greatness is upon you. You about to go to the marriage stuff. It don't make sense to do all of that. And then you turn around and the people that you hanging out with, the environments that you going to, the stuff you put, do you know, let me tell y'all something, and I'm going to let C and Karl get in here. Listen to me. This morning I was running around my house. I was so grateful for the mixtape. I listened to, I can't get past I got that dog. I can't get past that one, y'all. I got that dog. I listened to it all day. You know what I said this morning? I said, I'm so grateful that C and the fellas are walking in their gift. There were 2 songs that used to get me through my entire workout that I had to stop listening to, and I was going through, I don't know what y'all want to call it, spiritual torment. I don't know what you call it. But I would run to these and they would get me through my workout. But I would feel so negative when I finished because the words, the way they talked about females, the cussing, and I ain't no goody two shoes. I grew up in a home with cussing. I just don't like cussing. I just don't. I figure, Malcolm X said that majority of the people who curse is because they got low vocabulary. Like they don't know, they couldn't find another word to use that was just as explosive. It just gets to me, selling dope and killing people. I just can't listen to that no more, right? And I said to myself today, I'm so grateful for CJ and the squad. You know why? Because I finally got something I can listen to that is 100% with my values. I'm listening to this stuff like it's none of it that I disagree with. You know what I'm saying? I'm not being disrespectful to music or dogging nobody out. But from the time it starts to the time it stops, it's none of it I feel like I can't listen to with my God babies. It's none of it I feel like if Jesse was over and I was playing it, I'd have to feel like, hey, don't tell your daddy we was listening to this music. It's none of it that I'm listening to with Avery that I would feel like. But some of the other stuff I listen to, I don't know if I would want Avery at her age to be consuming that stuff. And so I was this morning running around the house thanking God like, yo, no, these boys didn't create something that you could be, that the family can listen to, that you don't have to feel guilty listening to, or you build up with one hand, and sometimes some of the stuff you listening to is tearing down with the other. And you know how we say it, see, like, yo, that beat was fire. Oh, but the lyrics, man, whatever. The beat, man, just forget about the lyrics. This joker, the beats, the lyrics, everything, it just had me pumped. And I'm being real with y'all. I can't get past, I got that dog. I can't get past that one. I know I'm gonna listen to the other ones later, but that one and the I'm on everything. Though that's my cool down one right there. So yeah, man, don't let them suck your energy. The electric company make you pay, and I don't care if you ain't using the light on upstairs. If that joker on, they making you pay for it. If you got your Christmas lights on, I forgot to turn mine off the last 2 nights. They not gonna say, E.T. forgot to turn his lights on. He had them on in the daytime when they ain't even need to be running. Don't charge you for that. Doggone it, my bill is about to be high. And I'm telling you, there are those of you out there right now, you are wasting your electricity. And if you would cut people off and cut certain things off, you, my friend, will go to a whole nother level.
Yeah, no, and I stay right there, E, because I want to make sure people understand what you're saying. And I know they get it, but I'm saying there's people out there who, for real, they go to a job where their boss is the one draining their energy, their coworkers, and they looking at you like, I can't necessarily just get away. What you want me to do? I still got to go to work. And so how do you guard your energy in a situation where you can't necessarily just remove yourself? Okay, if you got some friends that you don't got to answer the phone, I get that. That's tangible. But if I'm going into work, somebody driving on their way into work right now, and when they get there, the coworkers is negative, their boss is hating on them, the whole nine, it's tough not to give your energy away in those circumstances.
I got a lot of energy. Try to drain me up my energy. Listen to me, y'all. Listen to me very closely. We've been there, done that. No, we've been there, done that. You understand what I'm saying? No, we've been there, done that as a company.
That's how we birth, really. At the birth.
Can you hear it? Do you hear what he said? This is how we birth. So first of all, don't think we about to say what we about to say from some book stuff. We've been there, done that. What did I do? I love myself too much. I got there early. I got there an hour early. And I want to be 100 with you. I prayed throughout that whole job. That's what I used to do. Then I went in my room and I put that music on because I knew I was about to get hit. So I went an hour early and would play my music in that place. I would set the tone in my office. I would get that positivity, just open the door and just let that positivity go through all. I'm talking about the team, we got there early. We would have worship. We testify. We pray together, and we armored up. We armored up. We already knew the negativity was coming. So we would armor up. We got ourselves ready for battle. We got ourselves ready for war. We would read certain books. We would go to movies like 300. We would go to 300 and watch it as a crew and come back out like, ah. So we build ourselves up. And then this is what we did. We worked on going from good to great so we would no longer have to be there. Now, if you there right now and you feel like E.T. ain't got no choice, but we ain't got to have this conversation 3 years from now. We ain't got to have this conversation 4 years from now. You can't tell me your talent can't be used somewhere else. You can't tell me there's not an environment where you can go to and use your talent and be very productive and be in a very supportive place. You can't tell me that place don't exist. So it don't exist today. But the other thing we did was we did a countdown, baby. We did a countdown. We was like, we're not going to be here forever. We might have to deal with this right now, but we're not going to be here forever. And let me tell you something. We wake up every day with the fire that we got to produce a better album. We got to do a better video. E.T. got to get up there and murder it when he get on the mic. Why? Because we can never go back to that environment again.
Never.
So let me jump in real quick, see, because I'm here thinking, he kept using the term energy. And I'm going back to physics 101. Let me pull some of that science background. When you think of especially energy in the form of electricity, do you understand all it is the flow of electrons in a given direction? You have a flow of electrons. This thing is moving, so you plug some in, and it's moving toward that outlet where you're plugging it in. So everything is moving toward this specific direction. So when we talk about energy, we're talking about your goals, your dreams. That's the direction that everything that you're consuming should be going. That's the energy we're talking about. Everything you're consuming should be getting you closer to that goal, that dream, because that's the direction that you want to be going in. So and again, it's not important. I mean, it's super important that you have a direction. You talk about, you know what I'm saying? Like you talk about just movement. Energy is movement. You know what I'm saying? Like vibration of molecules. You talk about like tire pressure, that kind of stuff. Your tires stay inflated because it's little tiny molecules and they're moving. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not moving in the right direction, you got a problem. So I'm saying the direction is the super important thing. That electricity, the electrical flow, it's moving in a given direction. Hear what I'm saying? It's moving in a very specific direction. All of the electrons are going one direction. It ain't some going this way, some going the other way. All of it is going one direction, and that's why you get that outlet giving you that light. So
Then you're saying then that everything, like you're saying in our space, and we just want to make it practical. We're not trying to be over deep or make you feel like you got to be some monk or anything like that, or a nun or whatever. Like that's they super disciplined. So we're not suggesting that maybe that's the life that you have to live. But what Karl is saying is that your music should be putting you in a certain direction, which is why CJ said years ago, and I'm thinking about it now. CJ said, why would we even get on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, whatever, and respond to people about the music that other people decide to create? Why would we discuss their creativity and what direction they're going in when we can create the direction we think people should be going in? Thus the mixtape, right? So we're saying your music, listen to me, the movies I decide to watch, even if they're entertainment for you. I went to go see the Almost Christmas and came out and realized that I needed to go. You're not even catching what I just said. Subconsciously, I choose the movie that made me move in the direction that I needed to move in without even knowing that I didn't even know, but I chose a movie because I've been in the direction so long. I chose a movie that would take me where I needed to go without even knowing I needed to go there. So the university, the degree that you choose, right? The people that you hang out with, everything you do should not just be, cavalier, right? Everything you should do should be intentional and deliberate. Not that you don't have a life, but that you're making sure that the people that you choose, Josh is not a coincidence. Josh is not a happenstance, some phenom. Josh is we chose Josh. He came into our life 5 years ago. It was very intense. We met from me speaking. He met me because he was a manager, a leader, a CEO, and he needed to bring somebody in to speak to his people. Everything was methodic. Everything. His daughter and my wife became best friends. Why? They like dessert. It's all intentional and deliberate. All the moves that were made over the last 5 years with Josh. So I'm just saying to you guys, what kid broke my heart? I was in Muskegon High yesterday speaking to a young man. I asked him where you wanted to be, and he said he didn't know. He's like 18, 19 years old, and my heart almost fell out my chest. And everybody was like, why are you tripping on him? I said, I'm not tripping on him, but where do you go when you don't know where you're going? That's probably prison or an early death, or I don't know what it is, but you definitely don't luck into being a lawyer. You definitely don't luck into being a doctor. You definitely don't trip up into $2 million, but you can trip up into jail. You can die early when you don't know. And so again, just what Karl is saying, do you know where you're going to? Do you know the direction that you're headed? And if you don't, my friend, you are living a dangerous life.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. And I think, for most of the people who were at the conference, they felt that, man, and they felt that energy. And I'm telling y'all, man, when we decided to change that direction and like Karl said, get everything going in the same direction, it's gonna happen for you. And we talked about that for our entrepreneurs. We talk about that all the time. After you self-assess and get going, you put all your energy into that same direction. Remember, we talked about the 10,000 hours, right? We put all of our energy into that 10,000 hours. And so where your focus goes, energy flows. And so get focused on that, man. And I promise you, man, you'll go to a whole nother level. E, we got a ton of questions here for Ask ET. I've been neglecting it for the last few weeks. But if y'all don't mind, I want to jump into it and just kind of get into some of these. We'll take our time. I know, E, you like to go long with some of them, but, there's a lot of questions about kind of what you talked about with your sister last week. And so if you want to jump into some of those, if you're cool with that, we'll do that.
Oh yeah, we here.
Good. All right, cool. So Chantel wants to know, she said, ET, thank you so much for your transparency last week. I too am struggling with a relationship with a sibling. I reached out after you call after the podcast. I called and she did not reach back out. How many times should I keep reaching out? So she's got a question, I guess, about her consistency. She reached out after she heard what you had to say last week, but didn't get a call back, and just wondering how to play it going forward.
Yeah. I'd say it's what Karl said earlier. What's your direction? What you trying to do? And you don't stop until you do that. You know, it has nothing to do with how they respond to you. Is the direction you going in, the direction they going in? So if your direction is to have a healthy, wholesome relationship with your sibling, then you keep going until either you make that happen, or in the words of 50 Cent, you die trying.
Yep, I love it. This person said, E.T., you always seem so positive. When was the last time you were in a bad mood?
It's a lot of stuff that happens within the company sometimes that is not going in the direction that we need to be going into. You know what I'm saying? Not in the direction we need to be going into. But even that, I ain't gonna lie. Even that, I call Karl most of the time because he's local, and we'll talk about it, and we won't let it get negative. But it is something that is of importance, and it has to be addressed. It's not something we can pretend like we didn't notice and let it keep going. But that might be the time when, you know, I might be, if you hear me on the phone, it might seem like I'm not being positive, but it still is positive because it's fixing something that needs to be fixed so that we can, you know, move on with the health of the company. So, yeah.
Hey, I'll just share what Josh said one time. See, Josh said on one of our BU calls a couple of weeks ago, he said, the one thing that I noticed is that it just doesn't take as long for us to get over bad things. That's the concept. Like, you know, stuff happens, but you don't have to live there. You know what I'm saying? So you experience it, whatever, but you think of that direction you're going in, and whatever it takes. If it's a song, if it's somebody you got to call and vent for 2 minutes, you get it out, but you get past it as quickly as you can. So, like he used to say, never a bad day, a bad moment, but never a bad day.
Yep, love it. This person said, E.T., do you believe it's important to forgive and forget, or to just forgive? And I guess they're referencing, it's a long hookup, but I guess they're referencing your relationship with your father.
I smoked, but I didn't inhale. You know what I'm saying? You can't have one without the other. You can't. You know, you can't have one without the other.
So as it relates to your father, because I'm just trying to decode, you guys, if you could send me shorter questions for the Ask ET, like just kind of put the punchline in there, because they'll send me like a 4-page email, and I really do want to read your questions, but it's long. So as it relates to your father, not only did you forgive him, but you forgot, literally, like, I guess that's what the question is.
So here's the challenge. It's difficult to do that, you know, that forgive and forget process when it's about you. And so as it relates to my father, what I had to realize was he did not do this to you. You know, it wasn't intentional. It wasn't, I'm gonna have a child that I'm not going to take care of. That wasn't his intent. He was young, you know, my mother was 17, he was a teenager. They had, I don't know if it was unprotected sex, I don't know what happened, but he was just being a teenager. He was doing what young men do. Unfortunately, a lot of young men at that age do. And so when they were, you know, having sex, he wasn't thinking he was gonna have a child. And so then when he got my mom pregnant, because he didn't prepare, you know, whatever, what could he do? You know what I'm saying? So he was a young man. He was probably frightened. You know, I don't know that he and his father had the greatest relationship. I don't know. We've never talked about it. But I think I forgave him when I realized it wasn't malicious. It wasn't intended to hurt me. He was young. Okay, well, when you were 5, he wasn't in your life. When he was 10, he wasn't in your life. Maybe he didn't know what a father was at that time. You know what I'm saying? He's a grown man now. I'm sure his grandchildren, you know, by my siblings would say that he's a great grandfather. I'm sure that the school that he works for, and he and his wife and these kids that he takes care of, I bet you those kids would tell you he's a great dude. You know, they all live together. You know, it's like a boarding system. He's dedicated his life to these kids. I'm sure that they have a total different report than I had. Why? Because he's older. He's a lot more mature. So when he was, I don't hold anything against him. He was a kid. He made a mistake that a lot of young men his age make. You know, and unfortunately, there was nothing he could do to repair it when I became an adult. You know what I'm saying? In terms of us getting back what we could have had when I was 6. So you got to learn that it's not about you. And you'll never forgive a person when you keep thinking they hurt me, they did this, me. No, what is my father going through as a 20-year-old who knows he's not there for his son, who's not in a financial position? Like, I don't know what he was going through, what kind of bitterness he felt, or what kind of abandonment he felt. I don't know. So let's take the focus off of self and let's think about the other person who we say hurt us, and think about what they may have gone through. And then I think it's easier for us to forgive and forget.
Yep, I love it. All right. As this said, E.T., you mentioned you hated voiceovers and that CJ pushed you to do them. How do you prepare differently now versus when you first started?
No difference. No difference. No difference, bro. I don't necessarily, you know what I'm saying? Let's be 100. Like, it's not me getting in front of 400 people and doing what I do. Like, it's different, man. The nature of it is different. It's not as difficult. And I think because we've done it to some level of success, that we are only attracting people who feel our brand and who feel like ET could add value and who watch 300 videos and are able to write a script that's a lot easier for me than maybe back in the day. But it's like saying, how do you approach standardized tests today? It's no different. I'm older. I've done a lot of them. I understand the science behind them, but I'm still not like, whoa, let's go take a test. Or because I got a PhD, let's go write another dissertation. It doesn't work like that, bro. I'm no more excited about it today than I was before. But I will say this, I'm much more prepared for it today than I was 4 or 5 years ago.
Good. Karl, how has your role in the company evolved?
Whew.
Oh, wow.
Evolve isn't a good word.
That's the whole podcast by itself.
Metamorphosize or something is probably more what it is.
No, literally, we mentioned it before, but my first job on the staff was to drive the team to the airport.
Right. You're not doing that anymore.
I hadn't done that for a while.
Even though you had a Suburban, that's capable.
Now that I had a Suburban, probably I should go back and see if I can get an extra check doing that. But no, man, literally, I mean, I could run through it quickly. Literally, it went from that to the first random dummy mission E gave me of planning like a little summer camp. I don't know if it was just a little test thing. That was an epic
beta
failure.
testing.
Yeah, I'm talking about epic failure. Man, just of course into the videos became like the meat of the stuff that I did. But then as the company grew, like, you know, we talk about it, I was the hand. So literally we had to connect, you know, technology. We had to find a way to connect the website to the shopping, to creating the Breathe University platform and figuring out how to accept credit card payments. And so it's just a matter of when I tell you continuous growth, literally, it just never stopped. It just continues to change. It's not done yet. As we grow, it grows. Because, I mean, the beautiful thing that we have, guys, is the fact that none of us is like, okay, that's your role. You do that. No, whatever needs to get done, and it falls into my plate, it falls into E's plate, CJ's plate, whatever it needs to get done, and the rest of the team the same. We are, as long as I'm available, I got the energy, I got the power, I got the knowledge, the wisdom, whatever, or I can figure it out, Google it, we're going to get it done. So the role continues to evolve now. I mean, I'll be honest, he mentioned that I'm doing a little bit of accounting, a little bit of HR, a little bit of the video managing, a little bit of social media, a little bit of everything. But, you know, it's just showing that the company continues to grow, man, and we're not backing down from it.
This is an interesting one. It says, could each of you describe each other's greatest strengths?
Oh yeah, he said it. C says we're the three-headed monster. So that's that. I mean, well, Karl's is not. Yeah, it is the hand, but it's different. It would be the hand in the laboratory. You know what I'm saying? That's a little different.
So let's be more specific, and I'll go, just slower. But Karl's greatest strength, I think, he kind of just hit on it. But Karl's greatest strength is his adaptability and his ability to pick up things quickly. When you have a small company like we have, and there's only about 14 or 15 people that are on our staff, you really do have to play multiple roles, right? And there's times when you have to pick things up that you wouldn't necessarily be adept to doing, if you were in a bigger company, right? You wouldn't necessarily be in that role. And so Karl's ability to master something very quickly that he's never seen before. I told you Karl is the king of give me a second. and he really can't figure anything out. Like I can call Karl and ask him a question, and like he said, between Google and his little scientific background, he can get it done quick. E's greatest strength to me, as a speaker, is his ability to pull content from all over, and I say that all the time. Like no matter where he's at, no matter what he's doing, like he goes into that movie, a couple weeks ago and comes out with a message. And you guys got it on the podcast first, but trust me, he'll turn that into a speech. We'll turn that into an album, whatever. But E's ability to take information in and use all of his filters in order to make him a better speaker is one of the most incredible things that I've ever seen. So to me, their greatest strengths as men, there's some different ones, obviously in terms of what they're able to do as fathers and husbands, but professionally, I would say that would be each of their greatest strengths.
Yeah, and I would just add to Karl, because I know there are other people out there who can do that, but with a high level of intelligence. I think that there are a lot of people who, have been called jacks, jack of all trades, and they do a lot, but it's not always at a high level of thinking, and I think that's a problem sometimes when you're looking for talent, is that you do find people who are, willing, optimistic to anything they touch, but not necessarily with the highest level of, with thinking. They don't think things through, and so they do make a fair amount of it's like solution, problem, solution, problem, solution, problem. You know what I'm saying? They're gift, curse. You know what I'm saying? Like any given day, they could tear stuff up, but then they could do something sweet. And I think Karl has been blessed that his intelligence allows him to do way more, add way more value than to really, take away or devalue the company or whatever. And then I think C, and Karl can say whatever he wants, but I think just in my, humble opinion, I think it's I tease and say Quincy Jones, but it's the ability to not observe. It's both observe and absorb. Like he has the ability to do that. He observes, he sees things, and then he absorbs information in a way that others are not able to do, and then he's able to actualize it. Like whatever his dreams or goals or his visions are, he's able to galvanize the right people, the right human resources, the right resources, and then quickly turn that thing into, productivity. So just an example, when I say observant, I just mean he'll come into the room where I am and he's paying attention almost on the same level that I'm paying attention to you, the people. He's paying that much attention to us and the brand. And then he's able to keep all that information in. Like I've never really seen him write nothing down on a pad or anything. Some kind of way he just holds on to all of it. And then when he's ready to do an album, he's able to pull all this stuff back up because he's listened to every podcast himself. He's listened to all my speeches, sermons, anything my mama said about me, whatever, something that was written in a newspaper article about 10 years ago. He's able to keep all that information in some safe. And then boom, when it's time to do what he does, a lot of people have dreams and goals, but when they actually do the project, it's only like 80% of what they thought it would be, or 90% of what they thought it would be. C literally can execute whatever he saw in his mind's eye, he's able to bring that into the physical. You know what I'm saying? And that is a rare gift that has brought us it has brought us a lot of success for a long period of time.
So hey, I'll say it like this because E's on C. Let me start there. We used to play this little game, not a game, it's a little saying I used to say when we were kids, and I use CJ's name in there. If you think, so it's two rules. Rule number one, CJ is always right. Rule number two, if you think CJ is wrong, go back to rule number one.
Right.
Go back to rule number one. So, and it's funny, but see, Candace and I were joking about it, and it's like, man, we are waiting for the opportunity for CJ to be wrong. Like, I'm being real now. Like, he just has a gift of being able to see, like he said, see something and turn it around into something amazing. Like, we talked about the follow-up album to Dr. Thomas, and he said it to me just casually, oh yeah, the album's gonna be called The Prescription. I was just like, yo, how you come up with that? Like, the idea is like the perfect thing. It's the thing that makes sense for the next step, you know what I mean? And if I had sat for like 2 or 3 days or weeks or whatever, I don't know if I could have topped the idea with studying, if you know what I'm saying. And he would just say casually, like, he just has a gift of being able to, like he said, absorb information, condense it, and boom, here go the next idea, and execute it. And execute it at, extremely high level. So
thumb drive. Not a floppy disk.
Right. So rule number 1, C is always right, and we still waiting on that opportunity to get it. Hey, I'm promising y'all, we will have a whole podcast. If C mess up one time, we gonna let him have it. We waiting on that opportunity. With E, man, I'll be honest, what C said, but then the addition to it, it's just discipline and consistency, man. I've never seen, and we joke, I think Didi called him an addict. Like, he has an addictive personality, and fortunately for us, he found good things to be addicted to. But like every single day, he said it, like he's getting up the same time, he's doing the exact same things. He's on the prayer line, he's having worship. He's doing every single day. He's working out. Like that kind of consistency, I don't think I've ever seen it. And then the ability, to manage so many things going on at once. Like we joke about it, but he is a pastor. He's a shepherd. We don't even use the word pastor. So there's a church. There's a whole world listening to everything. There's family members. There's so much going on. There's a team. And yet somehow he can switch from a church issue to a family issue to and not cross lines. I just got done with something with the team, and it's like, hey, nobody don't talk to me for a minute. Like I need a minute to kind of catch myself. All right, what you talking about now? Something with the church? I can't roll like that. And he just has the ability to just like keep rolling with everything, and it just goes down to the root of it. He just has a heart for people, man. So the discipline, consistency, and then just a heart for people. Yeah.
I feel like this should be the last
1000%.
podcast.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
All right, so hey, real quick, man, I want to jump into something that I was struggling with. We always try to, bring something that the people can get involved with, and we definitely gonna need your help on this one. And usually, man, I have an idea when we go into One Gotta Go. I got an idea of kind of like where Karl or E gonna go with this one, and honestly, I have no idea. And this could possibly be the hardest one that we've ever dealt with. So I'm just gonna start it off by saying one gotta go, and now it's only 2, right? Usually we do 3, but this was so powerful.
Oh wow!
I couldn't even, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't even wrap my mind around it, and I still don't have an answer. But maybe y'all can help me. But one gotta go. All right, this first gentleman is considered perhaps the greatest actor that ever lived, in my opinion. He's brought us classics such as Antoine Fisher, The Great Debaters, John Q, He Got Game, Hurricane, Philadelphia, Out of Time, Equalizer, American Gangster.
So you are what you are in this world. That's either one or 2 things. Either you're somebody or you're nobody.
Remember the Titans, Inside Man, Malcolm X. So many. Book of Eli.
Ooh, the Book of Eli.
So many that I could just, Man on Fire, Flight, Training Day.
Wow.
I could just go on forever. All right? But this man,
Glory.
I think we all know him. His name is Denzel Washington.
Denzel, wow. I'm trying to figure out where he going with this.
This other gentleman, and keep in mind, we're talking about whole career now.
He gotta go though.
Just movies.
If he ain't Denzel, he gotta go.
That's what I'm saying. Where are you going with this?
Whole career.
Wow. Never
He
existed.
started off in our lives. Many of us were, me and Karl, maybe too young. But he had a song called Parents Just Don't
Oh,
Understand.
I figured that's where it would have been. I figured. Yep. Keep going. I got you.
He evolved from that into a sitcom that, I'll be honest, is still a part of my
Oh, no doubt.
daily life.
No doubt.
If it's on, I watch.
Yep.
Then, after the sitcom, the success of the sitcom, he came into our lives in many movies. I Am Legend, Pursuit of Happiness, Hancock, Hitch, I, Robot, 7 Pounds, Ali, Enemy of the State, Men in Black, Bad Boys 2, Wild Wild West, Made in America. I mean, the list goes on. All right? This gentleman, of course, is none other than Mr. Will Smith. So I ask you fellas today.
No, I know E
You
already.
gotta
Nothing changes.
listen.
Yeah.
You gotta consider the music,
I'm considering everything.
the TV shows,
Everything.
and the movies. I
Everything.
know I've ripped y'all. It sound like y'all leaning Denzel.
No, that's me.
That's
not,
E. I'm
Karl
saying
didn't
I'm
say
not-
nothing
but
about
one
it.
gotta
still
go.
processing.
Denzel or Will.
Entire career never existed.
Yep, one entire career never existed. Where y'all going? Will or Denzel? One gotta go.
I'm going with Denzel.
Yeah, all day.
And let me tell you why I'm going with Denzel. I like what you said.
Hold on, one Denzel gotta go, or you going with
He
Denzel?
keeping Denzel
No,
all
how
day.
dare
You know
you.
that.
How dare you?
You know that.
How dare you? Let me say this to you. I love Will Smith. Right? Love Will Smith. I've been rocking with Will since Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. That's my guy. Had the album in the basement, the Vinyl Boy. So yeah, without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt, your boy gotta go. Yeah, so I'm sorry, your boy.
Will gotta go.
Will gotta go.
Karl?
Can I just say this though? Body of work. Can I just say body of work? I'm just saying, like, you gave me some Bad Boy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ali?
Hancock.
Come on now.
That's the only one you gave me was Ali.
Independence Day?
Yeah, come on. Independence Day is a fairy tale. This is all science fiction stuff. I'm saying
Pursuit of Happiness?
The body of work. That the stuff that Denzel
Concussion?
has done, it's good. But that we talk about. Okay, let me say this now. And the depth of work. Okay, now we gotta go because I said the body of work, and I don't know if you quite heard what I said. And the body of work, the depth of work, takes nothing away from Will Smith. Phenomenal guy, but you made me choose between the two. And so when we look at the body of work, and who Denzel has had. Betty Shabazz said it herself. She said when she sat there and heard Denzel do his thing, she thought that Malcolm was alive. They said she got stuck. My man was doing his thing. They said she was sitting there and it was like her husband had come back from the dead. She had gotten so emotional and they was like, "What's wrong, Betty?" She said, "I thought for a moment that my husband was alive." That he was so there. So I don't know about Hancock. I ain't never heard nobody say they thought that their husband was back because he did Bad Boys too. So phenomenal acting.
Hold on now.
Phenomenal
Let's not act like Denzel ain't never had no clunkers now. We got some clunkers.
I never said he didn't have a clunker.
Sure.
He did.
I don't know if you saw two guns.
I'm just saying you didn't
but
even.
they was better off with no guns.
I'm not. I didn't say that. I just said body of work. That your boy put in
got
the work.
the Hurricane too, though. Zell got some hits. Don't get me wrong. Oh, and E got Antoine Fisher, so I know E.
That's
that's E favorite movie of all time.
Oh, y'all trying to get me.
Karl, I'm waiting
that
on Karl to weigh.
Oh, so see, I am seriously struggling. So here's why.
Yeah, it's hard because you got to get rid of Fresh Prince.
I'm saying I grew up with Will Smith.
Fresh Prince was every week of my whole childhood.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I grew up with Will Smith. Fresh Prince, listening, like you said, listening to I Never Forgot You Saw My Blinker. That was my first introduction. I was like, what song is that? But I grew up with that, so it's such a part of me. And like I'll be honest, I wasn't introduced to Denzel for real till I was older. Like I never really watched anything that he had until I was, pretty much grown. So I don't know if I can't take Will away. I think I gotta. It's hard, but I think I gotta go with Will just because I grew up on that. You know what I'm saying? That's my whole childhood.
Yep, that's a bias.
Not to mention Will married to Jada.
Okay.
There's got to be some extra.
Don't let me throw that in there.
So the fact that Denzel married his childhood sweetheart, and because we don't know her, she can't get no bug. Unbelievable.
Hey. Listen, I think I'm kind of leaning with Karl, to be honest. Now, don't get me wrong. This is one of the toughest ones.
Oh, for sure.
But I'm leaning with Karl just because The Fresh Prince is something that I watched every week. Like, you don't understand. Fresh Prince was like when TV was good.
Yeah,
like, I think it was Monday nights. We would get around the TV. Man, that intro, that theme song would come. Matter of fact, can we play just a little bit of the Fresh Prince? Just give him a little bit. Okay.
All about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute.
Thank you. There it is.
Hey, did you see it on that little commercial now? There's a commercial now that's playing that joint.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. So that was such a staple in my life.
Absolutely.
Now, the Denzel movie come out, boom, you own it, it's over. You own it, it's over. You might go back and watch, a few minutes and remember the title.
Don't say elsewhere, though. Y'all trying to act like
Fresh
Denzel didn't have a
still
talk show.
Coming on.
Denzel had a talk show.
I saw Fresh
a
Prince
TV
2
show.
nights ago.
Yeah, but you can get on DVD St. Elsewhere. It's on DVD. You can get it. It still exists. He just outgrew, syndicated television and went to the big stage.
Yeah, nah, man. I don't know. I think, unfortunately, Denzel, Karl and I have weighed in, and we both saying we got to keep Will. Now, if this is, don't get me wrong. If we talking about just straight acting ability,
right? Oh no, we're not.
No question.
No, we're not. We're talking about what y'all watched. Sure. We're talking about what y'all watched on TV and how old y'all were.
We're talking about body. See, you was a little. You probably was a little older. How old were you when Fresh Prince came out? Were you watching Fresh Prince like that or no? You was already Oakwood preacher.
Definitely not. Oh no, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Definitely not.
Exactly.
Definitely
See,
not.
so your views is a little.
I'm saying, of course. Who didn't watch it? But I'm saying definitely in terms of just how I grew up and what I was watching. By the time Will Smith
but
came
you
out,
and Will about the same age, right?
Yeah, absolutely the same age. So I was more into Will's music. Like I said, Fresh Prince was okay. I was in college by that time. You know what I'm saying? I was getting into my real world at that time. And the only TV show that kind of got me caught up like that was Marty Marr, and which is no comparison between Marty Marr and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So
wait, you weren't watching Different World?
Yeah, but that was when just before I went to college. That came out like mid '80s. So I was watching that, which to me is why I said no disrespect to Fresh Prince, but that was my show. The Cosbys, that was my show. So the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, we loved the what am I trying to say? See, that perspective was a phenomenal perspective because we really hadn't seen that before. You know what I'm saying? But the Different World, bro, was that was the next level.
Man, Will a year older than you.
Yeah.
You was born in '69, right?
I was born in '70.
70 years.
70, yeah. No, Will got you by a couple years then.
Yeah.
Hey, Will was born in '68.
Hey, just the two of us though? That's a
come
classic
on. I played
remake.
that with my son.
Yeah, that's
now
a
let's not
classic.
get it twisted.
Can't get rid of that song.
I never said that Will isn't a phenomenal.
Right, Will contributed to the music.
I never said. I told you I listened to it as a kid, loved it. And maybe it is because y'all was younger and you like, oh, Will Smith. And maybe because we are peers, I wasn't on Will like that. And maybe because Denzel is older, I looked up to him and just the body of work that, especially as how do you say it? And look, I can get in trouble saying this about Will Smith, but let me say this. I think music-wise, I think he was phenomenal. For me, because that's where I met Will.
Welcome to Miami.
Yeah, I think he was another level. I will say this, and y'all might debate me, but I will say that Will, professional now as a speaker, I would say that Will is a very good actor. I would say that. But I would say Denzel is the best. That other than like maybe Sidney Poitier, because my grandma would get mad if I didn't say his name, and if I didn't say Harry Belafonte, my grandma would get pissed. You know what I'm saying? They would get pissed. But outside of the two of them,
right? That's like saying Bill Russell. You got to include him.
You feel me?
Like I ain't sleep Bill.
You feel me? So, but without the two of them, Raising in the Sun and what they did, to me, Denzel is probably I'm talking about not even race, is probably one of the finest actors. And you talk about range, one of the greatest that ever do it. And so that's why it's kind of rough for me because him and Will do the same thing. They not in the same category though. But I respect the fact that you grew up watching The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and it has some sentimental value to it. But pound for pound in terms of acting, they don't even, it's not even close, bro.
Hey, just give me the
I agree in terms of acting. I think, like I said, we're going whole body of work, though. You know what I'm saying?
I got it right.
Will got to
I'm going to tell you, just give me the replacement song for Jalen graduation video. Let me remake it right now.
I don't know that I have.
We got to wipe it clean. We got to take that video off of YouTube. It's gone.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Take it off and put a clip of Philadelphia over the top of it. You know what I'm saying?
I'll take glory. I'll take glory.
Hey, so Training Day, Pelham 1, 2, 3, all of the movies,
Malcolm,
American Gangster, it never existed. Will, you still around, you still a legend, but Denzel.
I got to get somebody else on my team that ain't the same age. I just got disqualified because they babies.
No, if you in your 30s. I guarantee, that's what it probably is though. If you in your 30s.
For sure, yeah.
Denzel got to go. If you in your 40s,
Will gotta go. Yeah.
So yeah, no doubt. I appreciate
I just
y'all.
got body
That was tough,
slammed.
man.
Hey,
I just got body
get a
slammed by
weigh-in,
2
though,
youngsters.
see. Yeah, let's get a couple of people to weigh in on IG, Twitter, something, y'all. Let us know
Oh
what y'all
yeah,
think.
please. Yeah, hashtag one gotta go. Will or Denzel. Yep. Who got to get up out of there? Y'all go on and tell us, man. Before we jump into ET's nugget of the day, let me tell y'all really quickly about what we got going on, man. Super pumped. You heard us alluding to it. I'm gonna let Karl just play a couple little joints off of it, just a couple snippets, just to keep y'all hype about it. But the album is done. It's finished. Finito. Patchwork has mixed and mastered it, and I am under the belief that we have another classic on our hands. You heard E talking about I Got That Dog, and that's the remix that he talking about. Right? I Got That Dog, and I Got That Dog remix. My favorite as of this second is I Got That Dog, the regular version. The one E was just talking about was the remix. The album is done. Again, it's called The Resolution. Stay ready. Right? This is your 2017 anthem to get you popped off for the new year, your health goals especially. This is a gym banger. Every single song, 1 through 13, is designed to help you reach optimum physical conditioning going into 2017. We want you around for as long as humanly possible, and this album was designed just for that. And it is out right now. Go get it. Go download it right now. This second, it is out. iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Pandora. It's everywhere, guys. Go check out the album. It's incredible. And listen, our Christmas present to you, all right? Because we love y'all, especially our podcast listeners. You guys been holding us down. We've been doing this almost an entire year now, and you guys have been phenomenal. You've left your reviews on iTunes. You've commented, you've seen us out at the conferences, you talked about the podcast. You guys are a blessing to us, man, and we want to be a blessing to you. So what we're going to do is this Friday, right? You guys are getting this right now. It's, Thursday night, Friday morning-ish. But Friday, the 23rd, at 11 a.m., our Christmas present to you guys is we're inviting you to our live listening party. All right, on the 23rd at 11 a.m., you can go to etalivestream.com and register. Go do it right now, register. All you need is an email address, no money, no nothing. And we're going to bring you inside the legendary Patchwork Studios live, all right? It is going to be an incredible event. Will fly down here Friday morning. We're going to go over the Patchwork. We're going to have food. We're going to let y'all see the whole thing from start to finish. We'll let you guys ask questions, all right? So we'll take your questions on there, and we're going to go through and play the album in the legendary Patchwork Studios in the main big boy room where Beyonce and every big artist you can ever imagine recorded in. We'll let you see inside that studio as we go into the album and dig in with some friends and family. But we are inviting you guys, and that is our Christmas gift to you. We talked about charging for it, guys. We run a business, all right? We talked about charging, $10, $20 to get into the listening party. But me and Karl, we decided, hey, what a great Christmas gift we can give to our podcast listeners and to our family out there is we'll just make it free. And guys, we're paying to stream this thing, right? Karl, I believe we're paying my man like $1,000 or something to stream it. So we were thinking about charging because we entrepreneurs, and anytime you spend money, you want to get money back. But this is our Christmas gift to you. We're doing it absolutely free of charge. 11 a.m. on the 23rd. You go to etalivestream.com, etalivestream.com, and register. Just put in your email address. And at 11 a.m. on Friday, man, we're going to get that thing going. You'll hear the album in its entirety, and hopefully you guys go support it. So thank you so much for everything you guys have done for us. Enjoy your Christmas. Real quick, guys, what are y'all doing for Christmas, since we won't be on the podcast before Christmas? What are the Christmas plans?
Man, when you get kids, it just changed everything, see? And it doubled up for me because my son's birthday is like 4 days after Christmas. So I'm talking about just, honestly, it's just my wife and I just really want our kids to blow out, enjoy these next couple of days. Just enjoy time together as a family and just let them know we love them for real, man. Just so it's just locking in with the family for real.
Yep, love it.
We going to the Cleveland Browns game.
No doubt.
Yeah, we going to the last home game.
Good. Yep. And I got my folks flying down. I believe they'll be here actually they're flying down tonight, so they'll be here tonight. Excited about them coming in, and you know, me and my wife always get a little break from the kiddos when they get down here. So, man, we're gonna watch The Christmas Story. That should be one gotta go. The Christmas Story, the best Christmas movie ever. Ralphie. Of course, they run it for 24 hours straight, I think, on TBS. So we'll be watching that.
The best?
Running around the house, man.
You said the
baking
best?
cookies and eating good. And
Here we go again.
See, you said the best. What was the name of the movie
The
again?
next
The
week.
Christmas
next
Story,
week,
Ralphie, is the greatest
Oh, Lord.
Christmas movie to ever grace.
Okay,
our
yeah, we're gonna have
stage.
to
Next
yeah,
week,
next
see.
week.
Next
Yup,
week.
yup. The next week we're gonna have to do that. Yup.
What you got? Oh, let me guess. Miracle on 34th Street.
Not quite.
Featuring
well, it's
Sidney
all good,
Poitier, the remix version. Eric
remix.
and Sidney Poitier, the black version of Miracle,
Hey,
on 89.
When you get a chance, though, y'all just look up "It's a Wonderful Life."
I knew that's what he
Yeah,
was going
just when you
with.
get a chance, "It's a Wonderful
I've
Life."
actually never seen that movie other than that clip.
That's you know what? Because it was
seen
not.
that clip.
It
You know
wasn't.
what? I seen that
Is
clip
this another
on,
age thing?
I seen
I
that
think
clip.
it
I seen
didn't
the
come
clip
on right
was
after the Will
Minister
Smith
Society.
hookup.
When grandparents is in there watching it, he's like, "What a switch temperature."
Hey, see, it didn't come on after Will Smith, so that's probably why you ain't up on it. But I promise you go to any store in America and they will have every year for DVD. Every year,
I take
It's a
Home Alone
Wonderful
over
Life
that.
is in every
Oh,
store.
I
take
have
Home
Home
Alone
Alone
1
was
and
mine.
2.
I was going Home Alone was mine, so you
Hey,
jumped
Home Alone
mine.
is a classic. I'm going,
Hey.
but I gotta say Ralphie though. Like that is something about Christmas, man. You cannot go Christmas without the Red Ryder BB gun. Come on, man. That is like the best movie ever.
All I'm just saying, next week, fans, tune in.
Yeah, let's get it.
It's a
Tune in
Wonderful
next week.
Life. The fact that
do-
he didn't even know what the fact that he said he never saw it is hypocrisy.
No, I saw
I
it
can't
on
believe he
Minister
said
Society.
he never saw it before.
They were
He saw
watching
the
it
3
on
seconds.
Minister Society. I keep trying to tell you,
Unbelievable.
I seen it.
Hey, I would never believe I would hear C say something so uncultured before in my
do we
life
have CJ
that
wrong
he saw
or
it.
something?
Hey,
Unbelievable.
listen. If I don't have, if it didn't come out in the 80s, at least the 70s, 80s, I can't go back to the 60s.
It came out in 1946 by one of the greatest actors,
exactly.
one of the greatest actors ever.
Who was the greatest actor ever?
Come on, see, you don't know my man's Jimmy Stewart, man. Come on now.
Oh no, I
Come
promise
on.
you I don't. But I'll take your word
Okay,
for it.
yeah.
Though. I will take your word for it, and
right.
we'll agree to disagree. Maybe we need to start splitting these up by century. You know what I'm saying? Just like we'll just start doing the best of the century. So
I just can't believe he don't know what it is. Though.
no, I know
That's
what it
pretty
is.
big.
I saw it like a little. He I guess he was gone. And he came back home.
Don't go
and
any
they-
further. I don't want to mess you
They
up.
ran down the
They know
stairs.
you as Quincy Jones. I don't want to mess up
Hey, let's
what they
watch
believe
it. Hey,
of
let's
you.
do this. Let's watch them all this week. All three, because I'm still
Yeah,
sticking
I'll
with Home
watch
Alone. Let's
it.
watch
Yeah,
all
I'll
three
watch
this
it.
week.
Oh,
And we
Jalen's
bring the
favorite is
arguments
Home
next
Alone.
week.
I'll
Oh,
watch
keep
it
the
and watch
change,
it,
you
watch
filthy
it.
animal. Yeah, no doubt.
Back to what I said, man. Go to ETA livestream.com, man. We'll see you on Friday. And I'm going to shout out all our podcast listeners Friday at 11. So y'all getting this Thursday night. So just tomorrow morning, come on over there. I don't care where you at. Stream it on your phone. Karl, is there anything I'm missing out with that? They just put in their email address, right?
Oh, just email address and you'll get an alert. See, the only thing I was going to say, we might start a teeny bit later because we might do the little reception part first, and then we'll stream the music portion after. So give us, I'd say maybe 11:15, 11:30, somewhere around that time, we'll start the live stream.
Yeah,
but
but get on there
you
at
can go
11
our
just to make
Facebook
sure you're
Live.
straight.
Yeah, get on 11 just to make sure. But yeah, hey, we'll do some of the other parts on Facebook Live too. So make sure y'all just pay attention. We're gonna be making sure you get the full experience.
And go get the album right now. Put it in your earphones and go to the gym and tell me this sucker don't take you to a whole nother level. ET, get us out of here on that nugget of the day.
Yeah, for real, y'all. For real. The energy boy, you heard the message, but love yourself enough, for real, to rid those people. We talked about the job earlier, put an expiration date on it, but love yourself enough to live the best life you can live, right? Love yourself enough to hang around people who will energize you and not people who will suck the life out of you. For real, love yourself enough to say no. Love yourself enough. We're not just talking about energy right now. This is changing the way you see you. This is changing the way you feel about you, the way you think about you. I need you to know you're valuable, you're special, right? And you don't owe anybody anything, but you owe you. You owe you to love yourself enough to get in environments where people are going to pour back into you, where people are going to financially be a blessing to you, where people are going to open up doors and opportunities to you, where people are going to shower just all manner of blessings on you. 2017, love yourself enough to say enough is enough. Like, I've done that. I've been there. I've done that. I experienced that, and I don't like the way it feels. I don't like the outcomes. I'm not particularly fond of how it makes me look. So I'm through with it. 2017, I want you to go into the new year saying, I owe it to myself to use my energy to get to where I'm trying to get to make all my dreams become reality. I owe it to myself to get out of financial debt. I owe it to myself to get into healthy, wholesome relationships. I owe it to myself to stop giving away all my gifts and all my resources and all my talent for free for people who I can never do enough for people who are never grateful, for people who are never satisfied, for people I just can't seem to please. And I'm going to start looking out for me, and I'm going to start looking after me. Look, I'm closing. Listen to me. I'm going to start looking out for me, and I'm going to start looking after me, right? And I'm not telling you it's going to be easy to do it, but I am telling you from personal experience that when you make that transition, when you make that shift, life is going to be so much better. The green is going to be greener. The blue is going to be bluer. And you will be able to make the rest of your life the best of your life. So it's your boy E.T. saying, you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to love yourself enough to hold people accountable in your life, to no longer take from you, but to be a blessing to you.
Man, Merry Christmas, y'all. We love y'all. Be safe. Enjoy the holiday with your families. We're going to do the same, man. We appreciate y'all. We'll see you on tomorrow morning for the live stream, man. Love y'all. Merry Christmas. We out.
I want you to focus on here right now. Don't you worry about when you get home. You concentrate on this opportunity. You don't worry about tomorrow. You concentrate on this opportunity